going to be cutting his hair, and this is his hair right now. It's kind of long. My bad. Okay, so first you gotta put a towel over them for the hair that comes off. Yeah. I'm tucking it into a shirt so it doesn't get up underneath the towel and into a shirt. Okay, so for the very first part, down at the bottom section of his hair, I'll use a number 3 guard. Yeah, it's good. And it just pops onto the razor. I think it's on. Yeah. Okay, 1 second. And you'll go up and out. So once you get to that height, you go outward with it. Now you can see that there's a definite line where his forehead line is. Right here, there's a definite line all the way going across his forehead, or the back of his head, where his forehead line is. So I just cut that whole bottom section with a number 3 guard. And the top section will be cut free-handedly, where I put the scissors in one hand, and then I use my fingers to go up to the top of his head, and then I'll cut that hair off. The second step is the top section of his hair. Like I said before, you'll use 2 fingers. I'm gonna take off my ring. You'll use 2 fingers and you'll push your fingers through his hair and then had a comb to brush it out first. Then using the scissors, you'll have to cut along with whichever 2 fingers you choose. I'll choose these 2 fingers. My middle and my ring, between those 2 fingers I'll cut. And first, you have to use a comb, and you have to wet it down inside water, and then comb their hair out because, one, you want their hair not to be in knots when you run your fingers through it. And second, you want for their hair to be a little bit wet when you start doing this. So some of it isn't bunched up in the bottom or something. Because he has curly hair, and so without it being wet, he has curly hair. Ooh. So without it being wet, then when it's dry, it curls up, and you can't cut evenly over that. It'll be an uneven cut. And now we're going to start with the white wall, and that'll be his hair right here, behind his ear where it's longer. I'm going to cut it without any guard on the razor. So the razor will just have no guard on it. So it's just straight to the skin. And you'll pull his ear down, and you don't want them to smile, so no smiling. You don't want them to smile, because if they smile, it'll throw it off. Yeah, it'll throw it off, and so if they don't smile, then that's just the natural hairline. And now he really wants to smile. The other clippers weren't really working as well with just the blade, and so I decided to use a different kind. So this is a different kind, but I'm just using it for the white wall. It still has nothing on it. It's just the blade. For the very last part, we have to cut at the bottom right here. Their hair starts to grow and continue to grow to about right here, and you don't want it that low. You want it where you already see a hairline growing right here. So you'll have to cut all down here, still with the blade, still with the razor with no guard on it. And the rat tail that every guy gets, you'll just cut it up a little bit. You don't want to make it completely flat, but you don't want them to have a complete tail, so you'll have to cut it still, just not make the hairline in the back completely flat.